Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel, Sonic Love. So in today's video, we're going to be taking a look at the Anbernic ARC S. This one has been out for a while, but I'm really excited about this one. I think out of every single handheld I own, and every single handheld that has been released up until today, this is my most anticipated handheld. One is because of the pure nostalgia that it gives me, due to it looking like a Genesis pad or Mega Drive pad, and also a Sega Saturn pad with the chunky aesthetic buttons, the rounded circular D-pad, and one other aspect which I'm really looking forward to is the 4-inch IPS screen. So without further ado, let's check out the Anbernic ARC S. So there is two different variants for the ARC S, which is the transparent black and transparent blue. There is no other colours, unfortunately. Anbernic chose to decide that there is a different side that they wanted to go down, which was a dual boot with Android. I've seen a lot of videos over the past few months of it being released, and a lot of people were saying that it wasn't really worth it unless you want to play DS with the touchscreen, Nintendo DS. So I'm a massive Linux fan over Android anyway, so I went with the S model. So we're going to check it out. Now, obviously, this first impressions will be based on what stock firmware that this arrives with. And obviously, I will be doing more videos with custom firmware. I know Tech Toy Tinker has done a operating system for this, so I will be checking that out. So if you want to see further videos on this with custom firmware, then please feel free to give a like, subscribe for more content regarding retro gaming handhelds. So I went with the transparent blue. I think it looks absolutely incredible. I love the blue, obviously Sonic being my favorite game of all time. It fits that retro style to me. So in the box you have a charging cable, obviously you have the unit itself, and I got a 128 gig card to go with it. Usual suspects, which is wipes and a screen protector, but that's about it. So let's take it out the box. I will leave some specifications on the side here just so you can see what specs, but as I say, it is Linux based and it just looks absolutely incredible. The build quality is really nice. The circular D-pad is so silky smooth, and it pivots. It's like, yeah, it's got such good roll to it. So any fighting games or any action games, you are not going to be disappointed with this D-pad. I think that so far this is the best D-pad that I've used on any device so far. It's just so accurate, so comfortable. It doesn't hurt your thumb over a long period of time. The amount of roll that it gives, also even for like arcade games, it feels like a analog, which is really nice. It's one of the best D-pads that I've ever used. Comfortable, nice and chunky, and pivots so well. It comes with your start and select, and another key feature of this, which I really enjoy, are these buttons here. They're so reminiscent of the old Sega gamepad with the chunky aesthetics, ranging in different heights for the A, B and C, and also seeing A, B and C in a control button layout again is just phenomenal. A, B and C, so good. We have the X, Y and Z at the top. As you can see, they're also pivoted with the, or should I say, they are matching with the curvature of the unit itself. The aerodynamics and the overall design of this is fantastic. We have our headphone jack, obviously two SD cards, two front firing speakers, which sound incredible. The build quality itself is solid and robust. It is really nice. One of the best looking handhelds that I have seen to date so far. We have our shoulder buttons that feel really nice. We also have the trigger buttons, which just feel so comfortable in the hand. This unit itself is just incredibly comfortable. On the top of the unit, we have our DC charging, our OTG, HDMI out, if you wish to do so. It also has Bluetooth, so you can also pair a controller and obviously play 2 players. We have a function button, volume button, power button. Nothing else is on the side. But yeah, this is one of the best and most comfortable handhelds that I've ever used. It just looks great, feels great, the build quality is fantastic, and this screen is a 4-inch 4x3 display, which is incredibly bright, and the darks are really, really deep, and the colors are so saturated. It's probably, to date, my ideal screen, but not only that, but it is the best screen that I've played and enjoyed on in a long time. And because the bezels are so thin on the unit itself, it's so immersive, and it looks absolutely huge in comparison to anything else. It just makes gaming on here an absolute joy and an absolute pleasure. So overall, I think the unit itself is astounding. I think it's one of the best that has ever been made so far, just for how comfortable it is and the design, and it just brings so much nostalgia. And if you're a Sega Genesis fan or Mega Drive fan or a Sega Saturn fan, then you will absolutely adore this. Even from pressing the buttons down, it just brings back so many memories. It's unreal. But yeah, this is superb. I am very, very impressed with it, and I've just fell in love with it instantly the moment I got it out of the box. So let's quickly go over the operating system. As I've said before, this is a Linux based, so you know, I think it's a common theme with Anbernic is not to give you the full version of anything. It gives you enough, but then not enough to actually do what you want to do. So for example, if we go into start, you can see that it is a very trimmed down version of Emulation Station, I think. Don't quote me on that, but that's what it feels like and looks like. But if we go into sound settings, you can see that it's very limited. If we go to control settings, you'll see that we can have the Bluetooth controller, player settings, gamepad, simulation, network settings as standard, streaming. Obviously, if you want to do some Moonlight, you can. Not that you would with this device, but the option is there if needs be. Game settings, you'll see that we have update games list, but it just seems to be a very trimmed down version. There is not many options. We got UI settings, so we got a few themes. So I'll quickly show you. Very basic indeed. So yeah, so not much. And when we go into the system settings, you'll see that we just don't have many. Let's turn the brightness down, it's too bright. This thing gets super bright, by the way, guys. Yep, so it just seems to be very, very limited. So if we come out of here, we have favorites, we have last played, we have apps. When we go into apps, we've got setup like file manager, time and day hotkeys, turbo buttons, game saves, clear recents. We've got system rescue, so you know, restore to PSP default settings, dark mode and all that jazz, but again, very, very limited. We have emulators, so when we go into emulators, these are the standalones. Then we have RetroArch itself, and then we have all the letter end systems. This was a 128 gig card, and in good old Anbernic fashion, if we just quickly go in, we've got the numbers and also the games with box art, but then halfway down the box art disappears. There is no way on this device to scrape your art, so it looks like you have to go into the RetroArch folders. And as long as you have the image with the same name, that's how you get it on, which is an absolute ball ache. So hopefully with custom firmware, it'll be a lot easier to set up and have the device how you want it. Also custom themes and so forth. But yeah, overall, it is okay. I suppose as a plug and play, it's really good. So let's quickly go over some emulators. So let's kick things off with some bit of a Thomas wave. Really good, guys. Let's go with some N64. So I think the shortcomings of you not having a analog stick, the pluses way outnumber the cons. Yes, you're going to be restricted on some games like PlayStation, for instance, not using games like Ape Escape. Dreamcast will also use a D-pad and an analog. So there is going to be some hardships on certain types of games. But as I say, I can't stress enough, and I know it's not going to come over quite clear in camera, of just how amazing this screen is with a 4:3 aspect ratio and 4-inch display. It just looks incredible, especially when playing retro games. So with this chipset, you'll know what to expect. So it does have some really good performance. Doesn't play everything on N64, but what it can play, plays incredibly well, and it just looks incredible on here. Likewise with Dreamcast, PSP, but I think where it truly shines is all the retro game systems. Whenever I get a unit, I normally test it for a couple of hours before I actually do a video. With this one alone, I've literally had it for about 3 days and I haven't put it down. I've absolutely hammered it every day. Battery life is fantastic. It's really quick to charge as well, which is really good. I've just been so impressed, guys, so far. So to get out of a game, you simply hold the function button and press start. That'll take you back out. It's pretty much with anything. Let's go with some Nintendo DS. High resolution textures is on, and as I say, look how brilliant that looks, guys. So as long as the game is compatible with a single screen or lack of using the touchscreen, you'll have no issues and it will look absolutely phenomenal and play amazing. Let's go with PPSSPP with the standalone emulator, and let's check out Ridge Racer. I'll just quickly show you guys. So when you go into the options, if you go to settings, if you come down to system, if you go all the way down to change emulator clock speed, set it to 101. It does seem to have a good effect. If we go to settings again, and then if we go to our rendering options, you'll see that it's 1x resolution. Frame skip is on. This is what it sets it as standard. So we'll check out some gameplay. Did notice a little dip there, but there's ways round to fix that, so let me show you. So if we go to settings again, if we go to take auto frame skip off, if we go to 2x resolution, skip buffered rendering, you'll see that we'll have a full 60 frames. And it looks a lot sharper. You will lose some graphical effects, but I'd rather have the 60 frames. And again, plays fantastic. But for me, this is where it truly shines and gives me some absolute pure nostalgia, is playing some Sega Saturn. And as I say, it looks stunning on here. Does it run it perfectly? Not really. You can get it up to 55, maybe 56 frames. So without the FPS counter on, you don't really notice it, to be honest. And it plays really, really fine. If you just go into the select, and if we go down to config, we can take it to 2x resolution, which it's at now. There we go. Yeah, so it's about 55 to 56. But as I say, you would not notice at all. And it looks incredible, guys. So if you're a Sega Saturn fan, then you will be happy. There's a lot of playable games on here. Moving on to Dreamcast. I really do hope that the quality of the screen and just how vibrant it is and how crisp it looks comes across, and because obviously the screen is a 4-inch, and with it being quite big on the unit itself, it just really does look incredible, guys. Can't stress enough. all of your 8-bit and 16-bit just look and feel incredible. It's such a great experience to play on here. I love this bezel here, like an old screen TV, which adds a little bit of a curvature to the screen, which looks great, plays great. I absolutely love it. Do you know what? I actually thought I was playing it then. So not only is it really amazing to play fighting games, one of the best D-pads I've used for a fighting game, but as I say, for platformers as well, it's such a dream. Just let me see if you guys can just see just how crystal clear the screen is. Amazing viewing angles as well. But yeah, definitely one of the best. Your Game Boy, Game Boy Advance, Game Gear, all your lower end systems also will look absolutely stunning and incredible on here. So I'm going to leave it there. So for my first impressions video, wow, it's better than what I expected. Yes, it's not perfect and it's not going to be for everybody, only because of the fact of the limitations of some games won't be able to be played because it doesn't have analog sticks. But I've seen past that just with actually using this handheld for a few days. There is no other handheld quite like this that's out there. It's unique. It's been stylized for pure nostalgia. And I think that Anbernic have done an outstanding job in creating something that will forever just be in my heart. And I can probably honestly say that this is my favourite handheld, and I haven't had it that long. I absolutely have fell in love with it. It is incredible. So I will do some showcase videos like long play of PSP, Sega Saturn, so get the list of games in, guys, which you wish to see playing, and maybe even some suggestions of games which you might not think will work and you want to see if it does, then also leave them in the comments. Thank you very much for my last video, leaving loads of likes and comments. Yeah, but I would be interested to see if you have it, do you enjoy it, and do you think the pluses outweigh the limitations of the cons with this unit? So overall, I think the controls are the best that I've ever used. The D-pad is amazing, and the control buttons as well, the layout, what it is for fighting games. The ABXY disappears and it goes with ABC, XYZ. I just think that I just love it. I love the chunkiness of them. I love the way they feel. It just brings me back to the Sega Mega Drive days. Yeah, the sound quality is really, really good. The build quality is immense, and the screen is also just one of my favorites so far. As always, guys, a like, share, and also subscribe for more. I will do lots more videos on the ARC S, but so far, my first impressions is it's been one of my favorite first impression videos that I've done to date. And as always, take care.